Do or die for Kadena. We've got a death cross imminent. By the end of this video, guys, I promise you're going to learn something. You're going to understand the psychology behind a golden cross, the psychology behind a death cross, what is going to happen and how we can prepare ourselves for this imminent move on Kadena. We're going to talk about moving averages. We're going to talk about golden crosses. We're going to talk about death crosses. You're going to learn a lot in this video. So stay tuned right to the end. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Hit me in the comments. Let me know exactly if there's something that you don't understand or if there's something you'd like me to cover in the next video. So we'll talk about the golden cross first, and we're going to talk about moving averages. Now, the moving average that we're talking about is the 200 daily moving average in this instance. We're on the daily chart, and the 50 daily moving average. The higher the time frame, the better these things play out. So golden crosses and death crosses. What's a golden cross? A golden cross is this: when you've got your 200 daily moving average and you've got your 50 moving average crossing above that, that's creating a golden cross. What happens when you've got a golden cross? You've got bullish price action. Something changes. You start holding the moving average as a support and then making those higher lows and higher highs to the upside. Now, one thing to remember with the golden cross, one thing to remember with the death cross, one thing to remember with moving averages. Moving averages are lagging indicators. Because they're lagging indicators, what that means is the damage is usually already been done by the time you get the cross. So let me show you an example here. There's the bottom. We'll measure this from its bottom to the cross, which is over here. And you can see 83% move to the upside from its bottom by the time we hit the cross. Now, we can see that Kadena, from its previous high already, is down 61%, 63% to its actual low. So has the damage already been done, and what levels do we need to hold as support? This death cross is going to happen in the next couple of days. So what levels do we need to hold? We'll stick a Fibonacci from its previous swing low to its swing high and see if we've got any levels that stick here. The one level that we've got sticking here is our last ditch 786 Fibonacci retracement level. So we can build that in. This is our last ditch attempt. What does this allow for? This allows for risk management. If we drop this level, you're looking at taking advantage of cheaper prices. Does it mean we are going to drop this level when we hit this golden cross here? Got probably looking at about 2 days. What do you reckon, guys? About 2 days until this happens. Is that going to be do or die? Does that mean we're going to drop this level of support, or does it mean that the drop has already been priced in before we hit the cross, similar to here and similar to every other cross that you see? Because what often happens, guys, is once you see some kind of a reversal and you see a death cross or a golden cross, what can quite often happen is something like this, where it's coming down and goes back up like that. And then the 200 flips back over from a death cross back to a golden cross. And what happens here? Price action will chop whilst there's indecision in the market until we see whether the bulls or whether the bears are going to regain momentum in the short term. And then we can assess, we can reanalyze. And ultimately, what we want is to get back above these moving averages, because that's going to show that we're bullish. That's going to show that we can make projections to the upside rather than preparing for the downside. So we know that we need to hold the 786. We know that this is our last do or die attempt. There's a high probability that this cross has been built in. So it's all about protecting yourselves now, guys. So is there any hopium on this chart? One thing that we've got here, guys, a bullish divergence. And I'll just show you exactly what I mean here. You've got this and this. What does this mean? As price actions pulling down, remember, it's a tug of war battle going on between the bulls and the bears. The bulls and the bears, there's no fight here. As we're having this 63% drop to the downside, there's no fight going on there. The bears have got clear momentum. This is where the fight's happening. This is where the tug of war's happening. And you can see that this is the struggle between the bulls and the bears. Who's going to win? Who's going to regain momentum? So we use this to our advantage, and we can look at signals on different indicators such as the RSI. The RSI shows us buying and selling pressure. So if the bears are winning on the price chart and the bulls are winning on the RSI, that's showing that something's changing. There's a little bit of sentiment going in the favor of the bulls. Let me just pull this RSI up so I can show you a bit more clearly. You can see clearly here on the RSI, the bulls are creating higher lows, higher lows, higher highs, higher highs. We just go back, price action, lower lows, lower lows, lower highs, lower highs. So you can see that this can give you a signal that something's going to change in the short term. What do we want to happen on the back of this bullish divergence? This is what we want to happen. We want to see a bounce above the 200 daily moving average, and then we want that to hold as support, because ultimately what happens when you're above the 200? You're bullish when you're above the 200, you're bearish when you're below the 200. So this tug of war battle here, this is an important one, guys. This is why it's good to just observe the market, find out what kind of directional bias that you're going to get, and then prepare on the back of that, because you're better with the trend, you're better swimming with the whales than you are fighting against the current. I promise you that. So if you did like this video, guys, let me know what you'd like me to cover in the next video. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.